Hey everyone, welcome back to another Sims 4 YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing the Custom Nuptials mod by Deep Indigo. My wedding stories came out, I think, like 2 years ago, a year or two ago. And when the pack came out, I think a lot of us were expecting more wedding stories, abilities, if you know what I mean. And we didn't get that. I don't even know what we got with my wedding stories. I mean, the pack, the idea of it was really, really good. Did the delivery deliver? Not at all. So this mod definitely adds in a lot of the stuff that I think we thought we were going to get with my wedding stories, and it actually gives you the ability to plan a wedding event and make it more realistic to how it is in real life. So there's really not much else that I need to explain because the mod kind of explains itself. So let's get in game and see how this mod works and if you would download it into your Sims 4 game. So we're in game. I downloaded this beautiful couple off the gallery and moved them into a beautiful home as well. But what you'll need to do in order to get this mod to work, because if you notice when I click on my sim Ava Meadows, we have custom nuptials available, but they are engaged, which is what you need to do. You need to have your sims engaged, ready to be wed, and they will get the ability to click on not the couch but custom nuptials. When you click on this, you have the ability to elope at a courthouse for 350 simoleons, or open the event planner, select event type, or send invitations for the wedding. So what we can do is actually open the event planner, because in this checklist it will tell you like what you can do. You don't have to do all of this, but there are certain things that you will have to do to make the mod work. So for instance, we can choose apparel, sim of honor, budget, go to tasting, purchase cakes, caterer, event coordinator, consult with a financial advisor, flowers, hair and makeup, book honeymoon travel and accommodations. This mod goes perfectly with the Sim Nation travel mod that I did with a Deep Indigo. So if you haven't seen that, I'll link it so you guys can watch that as well. You can send your invitations, consult with a legal advisor, your marriage license, a mixologist, music, officiant, pre-union counseling, rings, select event type, tour wedding venues, and pay venue fees. That is a lot of stuff that you can do. I did want to mention that with the rings, when you are not engaged, you will actually have to go out and buy a ring to propose to your sim of choosing. I think there's a way around it if you didn't want to do it, but I'm pretty sure you do have to buy a ring, or at least get some sort of promise ring in order to propose to your sims. So that is also a cool thing. It does cost money, but I forgot to show it in here because I set them to fiancés and cast. So basically it gives you a little rundown of different things. Now you don't have to do all of them, but what you do have to set is a budget. You also have to set, I think you have to get your license, your marriage license, and then pay for your venue fees, but that also makes you do the tour wedding venues and select event type, whether you want it to be really, really big or really, really small. So that's up to you, but we will start off with some of the things that I do. We'll just do it the way I do it, because you don't have to do all this stuff. It's just there in case you want to do it all. So what I normally start off with is setting the event type. So when we select event type, it'll bring this up saying select the type of wedding and budget desired. Again, this is all storytelling, so it's not going to have you're able to choose what you want, but it's not going to really limit the abilities that you've had before. You can still invite as many people. Just kind of gives you a little more storytelling abilities. So sometimes I'll just normally I clicked medium and modest because it'll have you have a 12 guest max sort of thing. But because my sims don't know anyone, we're just going to do small and intimate. So 1500 plus. So we've set our budget, and now we can go actually to the phone or click on her again. I normally do the phone because you have this custom nuptials. You can buy flowers. You can set up your registry. We can do that really quickly because it will pull up this setup registry, so you can do monetary gifts, physical gifts, or both types of gifts. I'm pretty sure physical gifts, and the name of it is more of actual physical gifts, whereas this is more money. I normally click both because you get a mix of both at the end of your wedding story. So we did Ava's registry. You can now book honeymoon travel accommodations. We can do that now. This is kind of making the wedding process a little bit more fun for your sims. So now we have our getaway that has been booked for our sims. The next thing we can do is we are not going to elope at a courthouse, but what we can do is go back to the open event plan. Oh, wait. So here's a perfect example of what I was going to show you guys, but this is kind of like a pop-up window. Once your Sims get engaged, there will be an event coordinator that basically lets you choose whether you want to have a coordinator or you're eloping or you're doing a DIY. So for the sake of this mod review, I'll say let's chat more, but really you guys can do this however you want to, but we'll just hit yes, let's chat more. I need her to stop talking to her fiance and get to wedding planning. But this also has the ability to have you kind of space out your wedding, and if you wanted your Sims to get engaged but kind of be in that engagement bubble for a little bit, if you play on a normal or long lifespan, this probably is perfect for you. If you play on short lifespan, don't even bother downloading the mod, because in my opinion, by the time you get to wedding planning, your Sims will probably already be in a grave. But anyways, it says first major decision. I offer quality event coordination and will go above and beyond for you. Now that you've heard more about it, what do you say? I'll help you with all the logistics and details of your event. You'll still be responsible for the more personal aspects like your dress and hiring other vendors, but I'll make sure everything goes smoothly and will be with you on the big day. My fees are reasonable, 200 simoleons. So you would like to contract with my company for superior event coordinator services. We'll say yes, let's get started. I don't think I've ever used the event coordinator. We already picked small and intimate. We already did that step. Now it will pull up with a venue sheet. This is actually really helpful if you're trying to just kind of do it all in one, because if you don't use the event coordinator, you kind of have to do them all, separately. But it says, have you set a date and booked the venue? We have not set the venue. So should we click no, but we will book our venue soon, or no, we're planning to be spontaneous? I say we go with the safe option, say we'll book it soon. And then it says for our officiant, so this is really taking us down the list. This is a lot easier than probably what I was gonna do. Are you planning on having an officiant? I don't think we need one. No, we won't have one. We don't know anyone. But you can click if you want to have one. It says attendant / sim of honor. We don't know anyone, so again, you can click yes, but we haven't asked, or no, I won't have attendance. Have you bought apparel? I have set up the Sims outfits, but if you haven't and you click on the apparel portion, so if I were to say no, we don't have our apparel, it would give you the option outside of this little section to actually go into cast, and you pay 350 simoleons for it, but it's the storyline, guys. Like, when you buy your wedding dress, you have to spend money. So just think of it that way. But if you wanted to save your money, you could just go into create cast, create a sim. But I don't think we're gonna do our own. We're not gonna hire a stylist. We don't need all of that. Have you purchased a cake from a bakery, or is someone making a cake for you? We're gonna be purchasing it, because I'm not baking a cake with Sims. No. We'll just say no, whatever the venue provides, because we don't really need a florist. And again, this gives you the option for vendors if you wanted to hire a mixologist, caterer, or musician. If you wanted to hire these vendors, you can choose that. I don't think we'll be hiring anyone, because again, we don't have anyone coming to the wedding, because they don't have any friends, but this is your option to choose which one you wanted for the venue that you're going for. So we'll say hiring none. And then I think, no, that's not it. Have you obtained a marriage license or civil partnership license? We have not. So now, after we've done this whole list, it brings us to the checklist now of all the stuff that we have to do. And I actually do remember doing this, because it will gray out the things that you've already done. So this helps a lot if you wanted to hire the event coordinator. It will tell you what you need to do and what you don't need to do. We've done our budget. I don't know why it's still showing up as this, but the other things that we can do is go to tasting for wine. I don't really do this because it's like more of a rabbit hole thing, but the next thing we should probably do is acquire our marriage license. So we can do that really quickly. We'll take our fiance and they will go to a rabbit hole to get their license. Okay, they're back and they've got their marriage license. We've got prepped for planning success for hiring the event coordinator. We can now go back into our phone because I want to open that event checklist again because it should be grayed out. No, it's still there. Honestly, I don't know what to tell you. But once you do it, you don't have to do it again. But I think what we'll do next is tour wedding venues. And we'll also bring our event coordinator too, because she's helped us get this far. They'll go back into that rabbit hole, but I did want to preface that just because they're in the rabbit hole, you still get to pick when it comes to your wedding. It just kind of adds to, you know, touring the different events. But it says the sticker shock, some of these venues were outrageous. Oliver feels overwhelmed by all the choices for venues. Maybe it'd just be easier to elope. And that's about it. So it's kind of cool to see what they think about it. I think Ava's still sticker shock because she has not moved since she's got back. But now we'll go back to the open event planner. It's a lot of rabbit holes and a lot of clicking buttons, but this is very cool, guys. I always use this mod when my Sims get married just because it adds to it. You know, there's so many things that go into actually getting a wedding together. I'm not married, but I just know that there's a lot of planning that goes into weddings. So this is nice to have in your game to be able to have that option if you really wanted to go through the whole planning process. But we'll go ahead and pay for the venues because you do need to pay for the venues you want your Sims to get married, because it will actually not let you get married if you go to a venue and try and click on the altar. It won't let you get married. You have to pay the venue fee. They have to get paid. The next thing we'll do, open event planner. I know we've been opening event planners this entire run through, but trust me, it will all be worth it. This next thing with the cake, let's go and purchase the cake. This is pretty cool because it actually lets you buy like the cakes from My Wedding Story as well. I'm pretty sure that's in here. You get a bunch of different options for the cakes. So you don't actually have to go out and buy the cakes from that the cake venue within Tartosa, because there's like certain times, and to get your Sims out there sometimes it's just easier to buy it on this little UI menu that they have. But I think what we'll do is, I don't want a huge cake, but I also don't want a small cake either. I guess we could just do this heart wedding cake, the blue cake. We'll just do that one. It's 175 simoleons, but it's found in our inventory. So that's good to note. The other thing is, if you're looking at this menu and you're like, I'm quite frankly tired of doing all of this stuff, you can go to the calendar. This is how you set up the wedding. Like any wedding you would set up, just click on whatever day. We'll do it today. We'll go ahead and add a wedding event, wedding ceremony. These are also all things from My Wedding Stories. So we did get a lot of events in this, and then you'll just click on wedding ceremony. We'll click on our bride and groom. They are at the venue now. I'm gonna go ahead and change her outfit to her wedding dress. Here was the dress I had her get into, which was also from My Wedding Stories. But this is a really nice wedding venue. But like I was saying, if you click on the aisle, like it will not let you like get married unless you've bought the venue. So because we already bought it, we can now exchange our vows and all of that stuff. But I think we'll go ahead and have an outside wedding, because why not? We'll go ahead and have them walk down the aisle. Well, let's just have them both walk down the aisle. So we'll just click send down 2 Sims. I think escort should be Oliver, and then the escortee should be Ava. I think that's how that works. So we'll just wait for them to come over here. Okay, now that they've walked down the aisle, we'll go ahead and have them exchange their vows. We'll say exchange vows and kiss. We don't have an officiant, so really doesn't matter. So while they're doing this, kind of give another rundown through the mod. A lot of it is rabbit holes, but again, like I was saying, it does add to that gameplay to make it a little bit more fun for your weddings in The Sims. Kind of gets old every time when you have to just like pull up the event sheet, set the wedding. So this at least gives you an idea. If you wanted to set it for, you know, the next weekend, you can take 2 weeks to really plan your wedding and run through that whole event coordinator, do it yourself, or even elope. But it just adds to the gameplay. It makes it more realistic, and they are now married. And we got paid from our gifts. See, I told you guys, we received gifts from their guests and all of that. Now they're married. Now that they're dancing, they've had a wonderful wedding today, thanks to our great event coordinator, Francine. But that's pretty much it. But we do have one more thing, which is their honeymoon. So if I end this early, you don't necessarily have to end your wedding early if you've got like an actual party here. This is probably the most boring wedding I've ever had in The Sims. But now we'll go to the phone, and then we'll go back to custom nuptials and click go on honeymoon, and it'll pull up obviously our wife or husband or whoever your Sims are getting married to. Whatever Sim they've married, they'll pull up, and then you can just hit okay. Now you can choose where you want to go. Now, if you want to vacation in a certain world, make sure that you have a rental lot on that world. But for instance, we have the destination worlds, which are Granite Falls, Salvadorada, and then Batu. I don't know why you would vacation there for a wedding, but you know what? You do you. We got Mount Kumarevi, which also that would be a cool honeymoon spot. We got Henford on Bagley. They already live there, so I don't think they want to take a honeymoon there. I think where we could go, honestly, we could probably do there's nothing better than having your honeymoon in the same sim world that you got married. This is supposed to be like the city of love. We got the $979 per day. It's fine. They got married. We'll do this one because it's right on the water and the lot is like one of my favorites in game. But you can set however many days you want. We could do like 3 days. That's almost $3,000. It's fine. They got some of the money from their wedding registry, so they can use that to kind of help with the fund of the honeymoon. But now that they are here on this beautiful lot, they now have their honeymoon that they're on. Yeah, so that's pretty much it to the mod. Well, thank you all so much for watching today's YouTube video. I hope you all enjoyed it. This is one of my favorite mods, especially because we don't have that many options for weddings in The Sims. So to be able to have mods that make it more realistic and actually more fun to create a wedding in The Sims, I am not complaining here. I think a lot of us were disappointed when My Wedding Stories came out, and there was also so many bugs that came with that pack. I do not know how it was okay to be released. But anyways, that's another rant video for My Wedding Stories. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and comment your favorite part and if you would download this mod into your game. And with that, I will see you all on Wednesday.